I don't care, man. Like, my mom is dying, bro. She's lost 5 babies. Like, we're struggling to pay our bills, and like, we just had a bunch of money. Like, I don't care about God. I don't care about what you want. I don't care what my dad wants. I don't care what my church leaders want. I don't care what my teachers want. I'm gonna ditch school. I'm gonna smoke weed. I'm gonna get drunk. I'm gonna go party. I'm gonna sleep with whoever I want.
Okay, cool. Check.
Yo, check.
There you go.
Check. Yo.
Yeah. Okay. He's a rapper, entrepreneur, DJ, and all the above. My guest, still undefeated.
Yo, let's go. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Where you from, T?
I was born in Provo, Utah.
That's crazy, bro. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Have you always been here in Utah?
No, man. I was here till I was like 3 years old, and my dad is from Phoenix, Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona. So my dad came out here for school and met my mom, and then took my mom back to Arizona. Was like, yo, let's move back to where my family's at. Let's go like establish there. And my mom was like, cool, let's go.
Damn. How was Arizona?
It's beautiful, man. I love Arizona. Schools are beautiful. Neighborhood is so much fun. I love the weather. I love the heat. Some people hate the heat, you know what I mean? But I love the heat. Played a lot of basketball out there, hockey, lacrosse, soccer, made some music, had some really good memories, man. Arizona's beautiful, bro. I love Arizona.
When did you come to Utah?
A couple years after, I think I was like 22. No, I was like 25. Spent a couple years here, pursued some goals of tattooing, and had a friend out here who was a tattoo artist. I met him in San Francisco, and he was like, yo, we should come out here and like keep pursuing tattooing. And I was like, cool, man. Let's see if it works out. I'll try my hand at it, see if I pick it up, if it's something that I can stick with, or, you know, formulate a plan around. And so came out here to learn how to tattoo with him.
Was tattooing one of your dreams?
No, man. It was I was living in San Francisco, California, in La Jolla, actually, and I was living with a friend, and there was a tattoo shop that was like right down the street from where my friend lived at. And so I would walk over there, and I got to know some of the guys that were tattooers and piercers and whatnot. And I was like, yo, this is really dope, man. Like, and they were like, have you ever thought about a career in it? And I was like, not really. And the dude was like, cool, you want to learn how to pierce, get your foot in the door? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I started learning how to pierce and just spent a lot of time around those guys while I was working at Zumi Skate Shop. It just was something that kind of just was an opportunity that I was trying out to see if it was something I wanted to stick to and if I liked it, or so on and so forth.
How was T as a kid?
I had a lot of fun as a kid. Played a lot of sports, man. A lot of sports. I'm the oldest child. A lot of student council, a lot of opportunity, a lot of music classes. Played the violin, the viola, the cello, was in like singing groups, a lot of plays, a lot of sports, man. Running clubs. I ran like 100 miles before like my kindergarten year, first grade year was over.
Damn.
Yeah, logged 100 miles. Got saying a lot of student council, student body secretary, student body president, all in the junior high school. Played basketball on the basketball teams, lacrosse, soccer on the soccer teams, hockey, all types of stuff, man. So a lot of opportunity, man. And then my mom got cancer when I was young, though. It changed a lot. She got leukemia, a really rare form of leukemia, like a blood situation or issue that was going on with her. So it changed a lot of the focus. She had 5 miscarriages, and on the last miscarriage she had, she was diagnosed with leukemia. It was a life shocker for sure, man. It was crazy. Threw my head for a loop for sure.
Wow, you were young, 14, 15?
Yep, really young. Yep.
How did that change your life?
So it changed a lot, man. We have a family business. My dad worked for the family business and had a lot of opportunity, was paid really well. And we had a lot of income that was coming in. We had opportunities to do pretty much anything that we wanted. And then when she got diagnosed with leukemia, it was a rare form, and insurance didn't cover anything that was going on. Everything at that point in time was all experimental. So the insurance dropped her from the insurance and said, we can't cover any of this. We can't pay for any of this. None of this is covered by the insurance. So anything that you guys are going to have to do is going to be out of pocket. So any medications, she had a bone marrow aspiration, I think is what they called it, where she like laid on the side of a table and they had to like pound into the side of her hip and like scrape bone marrow out without any types of like pain medications. She had to be all sober for the whole thing, because all of that would have got into the blood traces and it would have affected the testing and whatnot. So everything that she did was all experimental. So it flipped the script on us for a while. You know, I grew up around my grandfather who had an airplane in his backyard, his own airplane hangar and whatnot, but it cut a lot of our income. It took a lot of my dad's time. His focus went from coaching baseball teams and fast pitch baseball teams and being involved with us really heavily to being at the bedside of his wife. You know what I mean? So it was a big change, man, of having all that focus and attention on what we were doing to everything being focused on her. And we weren't really sure. She didn't have a really good chance of living. I think she had like a 20% or like an 18% chance of living, something along those lines. So our focus as children shifted from being young kids to being worried about whether or not mom was gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was wild, bro. It was a wake up call. I don't think that we were ready for, you know?
I bet that was a lot of trauma. That, huh?
Yeah. It was wild, man. It was like not a lot of people were worrying about whether or not their mom would die, right? So we'd go have fun with everybody, and they'd be all focused on what they were going on, and we'd come home, and it would be a lot of sadness, a lot of depression, a lot of worry, and not just with her being all right, but whether or not we're gonna be able to pay our bills on time, and whether or not she was gonna get her medications, or whether or not she was gonna get the surgeries that she needed. And so it was wild, bro. It was a head spin for sure, bro.
Did she got better?
Yeah, man. She ended up getting better. She was in remission. They gave her a remission time of like 4 years. So it was like the time that they started to see the cancer recede from what she had going on to a 4-year period. They didn't want to give us any like definite answer to your mom's gonna be okay. They gave it a 4-year period of time where they continued to do blood tests and monitor like her platelet level and what was going on with her platelets. And so what was happening was her spleen was destroying her platelets, which causes the blood to clot. So anytime that she would get a scratch or she would bump her arm, normally our bodies would just stop the blood from continuing to spread throughout the body or leaving the body. Yeah. And with her, she had 0 platelets, none.
Wow.
So it was like if she fell down the stairs or if she ran into something or if she tripped and fell or she scratched her arm and cut her arm open, she would just bleed out. And sometimes the scariest thing would be internal bleeding. If she had internal bleeding, then she could just bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed and she wouldn't even know it, and then she would die.
That's a wild ride, bro.
Yeah.
When did music come to your life?
Music's been something that's been there forever, man. Like ever since I was a little kid, they got videos of me in like a cape jumping off of the china table and like, the china cabinet, and I'm like changing the different radio stations and I'm tuning into hip hop and like just focusing on the drum and the bass and just really rocking out, man. You know what I mean? And like rocking with. So it's always been there, man. In like elementary school, I was in like choirs and quartets and always singing in church and picked up instruments. It's just been something that's been second nature to me. And then hip hop was really big for me when my mom started getting sick. Like when my mom, first CD ever was the Fugees, man. And I got the Fuji CD and I rocked the Fuji CD, that Ready or Not song and Killing Me Softly. Like great album, man. Great.
So good.
Those songs, I played those songs on repeat forever. And then really got into hip hop when I was like 15, 16, junior high school. I convinced my parents that I could drive a car if I had a permit. And I had a friend with me that had a license, when reality, like you had to have somebody, I think it was like 18 or older. But I was like, no, mom, friend's got a license. And so she was like, cool, take the car. So we'd take the car to open gym and we'd run a couple of games, a couple of basketball games. And then we'd go out to the car. We flip the seats around in this Astro van that I drive everywhere. And would kick freestyles back and forth. So hip hop was something that really came into my life heavily, like 15, 16 years old for sure.
How did hip hop influence your life?
The culture that I came from was very Christian and very like focused on, a Christian idea and whatnot. So when I started to listen to hip hop, it was a whole bunch of idea that really wasn't a part of like my mindset yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like drugs and selling drugs and violence and gang relation and so on and so forth. So it didn't really play a big role into my life until I got to being like 17, 18, 19, 20. And it really started to play a huge influence in my life. And so there was just so much education that I was being trained and listening to through the songs and whatnot. That was like this raw culture of like New York and LA and all these different big cities. You know what I mean? So it played a big role in my life, man. But it's given me strength and power that no other type of music. I really love hip hop, man. So it's played like a big role in fashion. It's played a big role in performing. It's played a big role in rhythm. It's played a big role in basketball. It's played a big role in understanding different cultures outside of my own family when we were struggling. You know what I mean? So hip hop's opened my eyes to a lot of big city, a lot of fashion, a lot of smoking weed, a lot of partying, a lot of club scene, a lot of cars, a lot of cool stuff, man. A lot of beautiful parts of life for sure.
You were heavily in the streets.
Yeah, heavily, bro.
What kind of experiences did you experience in that?
I started out really heavily selling bud. Like I was really selling bud quite a bit, man, like pounds and pounds and pounds of weed. And then it moved further and further down the line, man, different types, heavy drugs, moving heavy drugs. You know what I mean? And it got me to a position where I was like still pushing dope and still going in and out of jail. And then it got to the point where I was like real down bad. You know what I mean? Real down bad. So I was like from spot to spot, flipping my sack, flipping my dope, re-upping, flipping my sack, re-upping, you know what I mean? So it was a progressional thing over like 5, 6, 7 years where I was like moving packs to like moving dope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I was like, yo, this is not what I want anymore. Like, this is not where I want to be, man. Like, I love high fashion. I love nice clothes. I love having a car, and I love having a really nice place that I don't have to like duck and dodge. I don't have to live in a trap house.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because the only thing that I was doing was pushing dope, man. So the only thing that I was looking to lay my head out was a spot that I could flip dope at and not have to like worry about whether or not I come back to it. The spot gets blown up, man, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gone, bro.
Game
I
over
don't
after
care.
that.
Exactly, bro. Maybe for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not my spot. My space, it was established. You know what I mean? It was like my trap house. It was like where I was at, right? So, and everybody was winning, quote unquote, at the time, because they would get what they would get from me and I would get what I would get from them and so on and so forth. But it got to the point where it was the exact same thing, man. There's got to be more to life than this, bro. There's got to be more than just flipping a sack, bro, and making the money that I need to get by with what I want to get by with and like progress myself in a better way. So I was down bad, you know what I mean? For real.
Would you say that you were in survival mode?
For the last like 6 months to a year, straight survival mode. But
Damn.
for about 4 years, I was like living it up. I was having a good time, man. Women, clothes, money, drugs. I mean, it was a party for sure.
It always starts like that, though, right?
It starts that way, but it never ends that way.
Never, bro.
It never ends that way. And I'm lucky that I made it out from where I was at. You know what I mean? I'm lucky I didn't overdose. I'm lucky that I didn't get put in prison for 30 years, 50 years for killing somebody or having somebody die next to me for overdosing. Crazy stories, bro.
That's God,
Crazy
bro.
stories. Yeah,
That's
God,
God.
for sure.
What made you move or get away from that lifestyle?
Lost a couple of friends, actually. So the dude who was teaching me how to tattoo got shot and killed in the street. Rest in peace, Jesse, for
R.I.P.,
sure,
bro.
I've been up for like 2 or 3 days, hustling, doing my thing, doing whatever I wanted to do. I get a call. I'm not even talking to my parents at this time. I'm not even talking to my family. You know what I mean? No relationship whatsoever. And I'm laying in bed, and I've been asleep for like 3 or 4 hours, and I get a phone call. My mama's like, "Where are you? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yo, my mama's calling me, bro. Why is my mom calling me right now? What's going on?" You know what I mean?
That's a problem.
She didn't want to talk to me at all. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yo, what's up? Where are you at? What are you doing? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Why? What's good? Jesse's dead. He's on the news right now on KSL. Where are you? Are you okay? Are you safe? I'm like, Mom, I'm good. I'm fine. I had just been with him like 2, 3 days before that, just hanging out, having fun, partying, doing what we're doing, you know what I mean? And so it was a shock. It was a wake-up call. It was one of the very first pushes of a spiritual experience for me that I had in like 10 years. So I was like, yo, this is crazy, man. This is absolutely out of control. So thought about it for a little bit, really evaluated the situation. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I can't believe this dude is dead.
Wow.
And so I got a 40, listened to some music, shed some tears, was really upset about it, and then I put into plan a motion to like do what I needed to do for my next level, like what I needed to move next. You know what I mean? And there was somebody over at this house that I was living in. I was living in this like little side house, and I saw my grandpa's face. So crazy, man. I saw my grandpa's face on this individual, and I was like, yo, this is crazy, man. I've never seen anything like this before. So I was like, that's my next move. So I made a phone call, called my grandfather, and I was like, yo, I need a job.
Wow.
Like, I need to change my life. Like, I need to get some real money and like really put my life on track. And he was like, cool, let me see what we can do. I'll give you a call back and let you know as soon as we can, my family's business or whatnot. Yeah. So eventually things just fell into place, man, after he died, for me to change my life. A friend helped me with the plane ticket to get out of Utah. I was on probation. I was running from the cops. Didn't care. You know what I mean? So I was like, cool, man, cool. So got a plane ticket. Got a job, flew out there, had like 6 cents in my pocket, man, if that. Had like some clothes in a bag that I didn't even want, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna get out to Arizona and I'm gonna fix my situation, man. And I promised Jesse's mom I'd get clean and sober for Jesse.
Wow.
So I was like, cool. So I flew out there and got established, got into like a long stay hotel, got a job with them. They started working with me. The same people who had been working for my family's business were still there, man. Like same dudes running it, managing it, doing their thing. They showed me so much love, bro. It was crazy how much love they showed me. Because before I was just some hotshot hip hop artist that was like partying and selling pounds, and you know what I mean? So they were really loving, bro, really caring. Like they accepted me back in, helped me train to do different things inside of a warehouse and whatnot. And then, bro, the dude that I was flipping packs with and partying with and having a good time with, he overdoses.
Really?
Dude, crazy. So here, I was still like trying to change my life. I went to jail for like 3 months in Arizona. I had a warrant from like 6 years ago for like a driving on a suspended license ticket. They took me into jail. They were like, you're not getting out until you pay the fine or you work it off in jail. So they put me in the tents and I worked it off, and like I worked for the state and I paid off my bill or whatnot. Got back out. They were still really cool, man. They got me into an apartment. I got into the apartment and somebody was like, yo, I know where Max is at. I know where your boy's at. And I was like, yo, man, like I'm really trying to get clean and sober. Like tell him if he wants to get clean and sober and hit me up, tell him hit me up. You know what I'm saying? But like 2 months later, man, somebody was like, Max is dead, bro. Max overdosed. He's dead. Like, here's his funeral date. You should go to the funeral date. And at that point in time, I was done. I was like, okay, dude, Jesse's dead. Max is dead. I'm going to end up being the next one if I really don't put my life in check and really start changing my situation. So it woke me up like crazy woke me up. So I was like, all right, man, I'm going to do this for real, bro. I'm going to really get clean and sober. So a lot of tears, bro, a lot of emotions, a lot of reflecting on like what could happen to me if I didn't get clean and sober. And it woke me up, man. I was like, time to change.
What do you think would have happened if you didn't get sober?
Ended up homeless, probably would have ended up without a job in Arizona, probably would have been back in Utah trying, you know what I mean, trying to chase the dope game and whatnot, trying to like get on track. Maybe ended up, might have overdosed, you know what I mean? Might have got put in prison for like 5 or 10 years for doing something stupid, you know what I mean? Where they're like, look, man, clean your life up, get into some education programs and like better your situation and we'll let you out, see what you do in 5 years. But that's not what ended up happening, thank goodness, you know what I mean? So thank goodness that that's not what ended up happening, but probably dead or in jail, man, for sure.
You need to go through it and get close to the fire to understand perspective.
For sure, learning. I think that that's what learning really is. You know what I mean? Some of us learn a lot faster than others. You know what I mean? Like somebody could like go out and smoke weed and get grounded. That's all they needed.
That's all they needed.
My mom's taking my cell phone away. I'm never getting my cell phone taken away ever again, bro. Like my situation, I think because my mom was dying and because my dad was so focused on trying to make sure her rehabilitation and being okay was his main focus, it was like, I don't care, man. Like my mom is dying, bro. She's lost 5 babies. Like we're struggling to pay our bills and like we just had a bunch of money. Like I don't care about God. I don't care about what you want. I don't care about what you want. I don't care what my dad wants. I don't care what my church leaders want. I don't care what my teachers want. I'm going to ditch school. I'm going to smoke weed. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to go party. I'm going to sleep with whoever I want. You know what I mean? And so it took a long time for me to learn for sure, man. Like the fire definitely had to burn me. And I think that it took to the point where even with my parents who care and love about me very much, man, I think it took a lot for them to realize like, yo, his friends are dying. I think it's time that like he really like gets his focus somewhere else on making happen his dreams and changing what he wants to do into something better. You know what I mean? So it took a lot, man, but I'm glad I'm not dead or in jail for sure, bro.
When you're trying to cope, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah,
it's just an experience you have to go through.
Yeah.
You know, it's a miracle. And, you know, shout out to God, you had the possibility and chance to be able to change your life because your friends never had that chance. And they probably did, but they didn't get out on time.
Yeah, and they came from great families too, man. It's not like they were down bad their whole life and they were fighting to like, you know, they were blessed individuals for sure, man. And it's sad to
And that's a misperception that I feel like a lot of people have, that they feel like, you know, the streets or like the drug game and everything is a bunch of people who came from bad places, like bad homes. But in reality, it's a lot of people who came from good homes. It was just a bad situation that happened.
Bro, hip hop hit America. And it was like this push of information even into like the suburban households or the really, you know, mid-income households where like families were making money, you know, their parents had some college education and they had good jobs and they had 2 cars and they had everything that they needed. And then boom, the 90s hit, bro. And it was like gangster rap was everywhere, which is what a lot of what I was dealing with, right? Like I came from a really good home and, you know, we had what we needed for the longest time. And then we started to struggle a little bit. And it was like I started listening to gangster rap, man. And I was like, yo, they're talking about pushing dope and selling crack and shooting people and always having guns and 50 cents, get rich or die trying drop, bro. And I was like, boom, stuck on 50 Cent, bro. You know what I mean? And I drive my Astro van around, bro. First time I got pulled out of a car and arrested, I was like 15 or 16 years old. And we had a little pellet gun with us, bro. And we were driving around, causing trouble, raising havoc and whatnot, bro. And somebody walked up to the car after some foolish stuff that we had done the weekend before at the mall. And they came up to confront us. And I had this little pellet gun on me, dude. And I was like, what's up? You know what I mean? What's up? You can get it if you want it. You know what I mean? And that was my mentality. You know what I mean? If I would have gone home and just been at home, my parents would have been like having me pray, you know what I mean? And talking about love and forgiveness, but I probably would have been out like watching my mom die at the time. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit different for me. You know what I mean? So I was out causing problems, and I got pulled out of a car. My mom called me, "Where are you at? The police are here. There's like 6 cop cars looking for you." And I'm like, oh man. So I dropped my friend off at his house, and I like cruised back home, and they came out guns raised, and they got lasers all over me. My siblings are in the house crying, and I'm like laughing as they're pulling me out of the car and like handcuffing me and trying to figure out what was going on. But gangster rap, bro, for sure, bro.
I think you were living through them.
Yeah.
You know, you were like, it's a movie for me.
Well, they're role models, man. You go to school to be an auto mechanic, and you learn, you read textbooks, and you read lessons on how to fix a specific part of an engine, and you watch other people fix engines. You're going to become those 5 closest people to you. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, I mean, they're the influence that are in your life. And if you choose a teacher or an influence or an idol, like a hip hop artist that's telling you about where they come from or how their lifestyle is or where their neighborhoods are at, you're going to start to develop into that individual because the bass sounds dope. You know what I'm saying? And the kick and the drum sounds fly, bro. And you're like, yo, this is so dope. And all of his words rhyme. And you're like, his style is super fly, bro. And I want to be just like this dude. And then you start to develop into that, and you get into those situations, and you're like, whoa, all right, here we are. You know what I mean? 5, 6, 7 years later, here we are, and I'm selling dope, and I got pistols, and I'm going in and out of jail, and I'm like addicted to drugs, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like nowhere near where like I started out. You know what I mean?
So what's your goal? Still undefeated in 5 years. What does he look like?
Oh man. So I really want to be on a touring syndicate where I'm making enough revenues to do what I'm doing with my music, man. So I want to be touring on a regular basis. I want to have a solid income from my merchandise, t-shirts and keychains and all types of stuff, man. Mugs and bracelets and hats, all types of stuff. And really doing music full time, man. Being able to invest in studio time, being able to invest in the tours, and being able to be a full-time artist. In 5 years, hopefully I'll graduate with my 2nd degree. My bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies from Berklee College of Music.
Oh yeah.
I want to have a Benz in 5 years. I don't really want to own a house in 5 years, man, because I want to be on the road. You know what I mean? So I want to be on tour, and I want to have 3, 4, 5 months out of the year where I'm going from place to place, a solid following. I don't need 1 million fans, man. You know,
bro.
Just starting out with 1,000 true fans that are spending like $10 a month with me, bro. I'm $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? So I just, that micro market that cares about my music, that I can care about what they're doing, that we can interact and we can really be there to support each other. Shout out Gully Gang. You know what I mean? And like really lift each other and build each other, man. So at least 1,000 true followers, man, in a positive place in life, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. I always tell people, care about the people that care about you first.
Word.
You know, your supporters are the most important thing. Sometimes I feel like artists forget that it's about watering your plants, not trying to water other plants.
Word,
you know,
sure.
So I always tell artists, pay attention to the people who support you right now. Even if you have 5 followers, but really strong, those will turn into 50 because they're like branches. They will eventually tell somebody else. But you have to care about the people who support you first. You have to put them first. But I think you're doing good, bro. I think you're on your way. And I'm excited for you. If you could go back in time to a young TJ, right? Young, still undefeated, out here winning, what would you tell him?
You can be just fine. Just keep following your passion, keep following your dreams, and just do you for sure. Like live your dreams for sure, you know? I've been following that voice, that calling in my head for so long, bro. And it's taken me down some of the craziest places in life, man. And I followed that passion, and I'm finally here, and I'm living it. And it's everything I've ever wanted to do. And yeah, man, follow your passion, bro. Just follow after everything that you want to do, and don't give up.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm excited for you, man.
Appreciate
TJ,
you, my guy.
Thank you, bro. Real shit. That's awesome, bro.
I got a solid support team. Shout out Gorilla Mafia Entertainment.
Shout out.
Chris Newhart, man.
Yes, sir.
Gwen Allen, Noni Thornton. Everybody in Gully Gang, bro. The movement is real. We're out here doing it. Rap to recovery. Everybody hard in the paint basketball, man.
Yes,
There's
sir.
so much love in my life right now, man. And I can't even begin to tell you how thankful I am for people, man. And Maikon show, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man, for having me. This is beautiful. This is incredible, man.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
bro. What do you got to tell the people? Where can they find you?
Man, you can find me Apple Music, Still Undefeated, all one word. Spotify, Still Undefeated, all one word. YouTube, Still Undefeated. You can find me on Instagram, Still Undefeated _GME, Facebook, Terrance James Farnsworth. And you could find me at the local shows, man. Pop out. I'm always there. We're always rocking. We're always making things happen for real.
And to you guys, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with us right now. Still Undefeated.
Let's go.
Maikon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on a mission, TJ. I'm on a mission, bro. I want to get Post Malone on this show.
Let's do it.
I really do, bro. I've been working hard. And I don't care if it's episode 1,306, 2,305. I don't care. I know and I believe in my heart that it's going to happen. And once it happens, that's going to open the doors of hell, bro. We're going to be fucking doing a lot of moves, bro. But I know that I can do it. You know, with discipline, consistency, I know that I can do it. And it's going to happen.
Yes, sir. I believe in you. Yeah, I believe in you for sure, man.
Thank you, bro. Real shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And go to sleep early, eat healthy, and stop cheating. You got to stop cheating, people.
Don't cheat, bro. Don't cheat, bro. Or just be single, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Lady Jane. Don't cheat.
Yeah,
Don't
stop
cheat.
cheating.
Stop cheating for real.
Love yourself and keep going. Have a great day. Have a great night. Love you guys. Peace out.
You guys, peace out. Let's go.
Yo, that shit was dope, bro. Real shit.
Thank
you, bro. Crazy story, bro.
Thanks, bro.
That's dope, man. You've been through a lot, bro.
Yeah, it's been wild, bro. But I wouldn't change it any other way, man. I love where I'm at. I love what I'm doing. And I love the people in my life and the support in my life for sure, man.
Fuck yeah, bro.